So which part of it you love doing it? It's only the speaking part of it, or?
No, I started out, when I started RJing, I used to handle 3 profiles. When you start, it's like that only. You will just not become an RJ one day. You have to learn and people think you just go talk.
Any masala thing which happened with you in life that you want to share, because it's becoming too this
Serious and gyan ho gaya.
हाँ बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया and बहुत इतना ज़्यादा तो I don't think people want to take it.
Oh, masala kya batao? I'm a very good girl. I'm the super goody little two shoes. But kya masala batao ab? What kind of masala?
The best part of the radio where everybody wants to listen is celebrity interviews. అంటే ఎవరు ఎక్కడ దొరుకుతారు, ఇప్పుడే సినిమా రిలీజ్ అయింది, ఆ సినిమా చూసేసాము, ఆ సినిమాలో వాళ్ళు ఏమంటున్నారు, వాళ్ళ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఏం చెప్తున్నారు అని వినాలి అనిపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది. సో వెన్ యూ గో టు ఆస్క్ క్వశ్చన్స్, అంటే డూ యూ ప్రిపేర్, వాట్ సార్ట్ ఆఫ్ questions do you prepare, and what are the challenges you face? అంటే వాళ్ళు మీకు ఆన్సర్ చేయొచ్చు, చేయకపోవచ్చు, వాళ్ళు టైర్డ్ అవ్వచ్చు, ఏమైనా జరగచ్చు.
That's the most difficult part, if you ask me. When people ask what's the worst thing about my job, now can't take leaves, what's very challenging, finding different content every day. Another thing is following up with celebrities. It's not easy. We used to have this tier system. Okay, first thing getting their number, next thing them answering, and then they have to say yes, and when they say yes it has to happen, they have to give the date and it has to happen, then we have to go there, then they have to give us decent content. So until that happens, there is tension. Nerves are like, all wired up tight. So yeah, people get fascinated a lot, and initially even first few interviews that we did, just to listen to our own voice with their voice, having a conversation.
And the fan moments,
Sometimes, yeah. My biggest fan girl moment has been with SPB Garu. I had tears in my eyes.
But I think he's a legend, yeah.
He's a legend because for us, I'm a Kannada girl, his music was staple diet. My grandma, my mom, myself, we all used to go to his concerts and sit together. I touched his feet and I'm like, sir, you have no clue how much we have worshipped you all our lives. For me, that's a fangirl moment. I met Sunil Chhetri was a fangirl moment because of his contributions. I've liked each and every celebrity that I have interviewed in a different way. I do prepare. I do my research. You ask one wrong question, the mood is gone. The flow is broken. They're like offended. Don't you even know about this? How can you just not come prepared? You don't ever want to be in that position. So you better know your stuff, right? So I do a lot of research. I prepare my questions, and I don't ever ask personal questions. That's a strict rule that I follow. And if I interview somebody who comes from a filmy family, I only talk about them, not about their relatives who are famous. Right. It's about them and their work, not about their husband or wife who's also famous. Right. So so there are rules that I follow, and thankfully it's been good mostly. So
how many goof-ups?
So many goof-ups. So many goof-ups on radio.
So what all did you do?
See, celebrity interview goof-ups, so they keep happening. Radio goof-ups, so grammatical mistakes, you
I know, suddenly, when you start talking, suddenly atu flow.
Yeah, flow అయిపోతుంది. It's like, I know I speak decent English, but there are times when you make immunity booster. I've said immunity buster. It's gone on air.
Complete opposite word.
I'm like, oh, did I just say immunity buster? How many people would have heard it, right? It's so many mistakes like that. With celebrities also, there have been times some people have been kind and some people have not taken it so lightly because you've made certain goof-ups. So you learn from your mistakes. Great stories. I'll never forget my Srikanth Kidambi interview. He's very shy. He hates giving interviews. Now though he's become more like a friend. But back then, 4 years ago, a very big politician was supposed to give me an interview. Very big politician. I waited for 5 hours. He was 2 feet away from me. After that, he was giving news interviews, and his mood was off because he was fighting with one of the news channel people. He said, done for the day. I'm waiting from 12 o'clock till 5 o'clock. And 6:30 I'm supposed to do Srikanth Kidambi's interview. And these are all sports managers. They will not give you interviews again. It's raining. I'm new to the city. My battery has 1%. My phone has 1% battery left. I'm lost. Somehow I went, and I'll never forget this. My battery died. The minute I reached there, my battery died. and he's too shy. The manager says, I don't know how will you make him talk. I said, leave it to me. I'm good with shy people. He gave me a 40-minute long interview and he just sang. I mean, he spoke with his heart open. And then I had to ask him, I'm meeting a world champion, I'm like, can you please book me a cab? My phone's gone. Can you please take the pictures? My phone's gone. So these things happen and some people...
It's a human thing to happen, so it's okay. That's not a thing. Actually, maybe because he's a shy person, he could actually relate to these small human things, and
No, but there are some, like Kajol, I'll never forget. The interview was supposed to happen for 10 minutes and she liked me so much. She spoke to me for 30 minutes. She said, no, I want to keep talking to her. So, things like that. But goof ups also, wardrobe malfunctions happen and you realize later, oh my God, what did just happen? There was one time, I don't know if I should say this or not, I interviewed a very big celebrity, and I was chasing this celebrity for a good 2 years. Interview happened and it wasn't recorded.
And you cannot ask for another time.
You cannot. He's so big. You can't go say, sir, it is not recorded. Talk to me again. I sat down near his gate, his front gate, and I wept. I literally wept. And he had given me such a great interview and it wasn't recorded. We have to press that button twice. Somehow something had gone wrong and it just wasn't recorded.
Then what did you do?
Nothing. I couldn't do anything. Nothing. And I had asked another RJ who had kept her phone on. So I got maybe 2-3 minutes bite to show my company. We got a short bite. The long interview didn't happen. He was too busy, blah, blah, blah. But it was a 20-minute interview that I lost.
I think that is the biggest learning experience, so that next time you're doubly sure that it is recorded.
So many things like that happen. We waited for a celebrity once, a very big name in the sports industry, very big name. So much so that we waited the interview was supposed to happen at 12:30 and we were there for a meet and greet with our listeners. The interview happened at 6:30 and the listeners left. And we got literally 3-minute bite. And I waited for it from 12:30 to 6:30.
I remember this incident. Yeah.
And because the name was so big, we wanted the association, we wanted that person's experience, even if it was a 3-minute bite. It's a big thing for us. And people think being RJ is all fancy, go talk, meet celebrities. It doesn't work like that. Doesn't work. And the rejection, I'm so used to rejection now. People saying no, 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 no. Yeah. When I see Manjula ma'am getting all the celebrities just like that, I'm like super jealous. She just have to call them, they'll come running.
No, I think now you're making me conscious. I cannot be Manasa, but still,
For us, we have to slog it out and how. That's the celebrity story. Huh?
But I'm still waiting for the masaladar moment.
Oh.
I'm yet to find the masala.
Masala professionally?
Maybe personally, professionally, whatever it is. Any masala event in the life.
What kind of masala are you looking for?
So I'm still waiting for your masaladar moment, where your emotions, either whether it will make you blush or whether made you angry or irritated or anything which really overboard.
I'll give you a few examples. What certain celebrities make me feel how. Right. Rana is the only celebrity who makes me feel nervous. And I have interviewed him the most.
Is it because he's going to ask you the questions more than what you are going to?
Yeah, one is that. He's like a ticking time bomb. Yes. You never know what to expect from Rana and he will not give you a straight answer. So you're like thinking, okay, if I ask this question, what answer is going to come? And he's amazing. But the problem is you can't predict Rana. You don't know what question to set. And I've interviewed him more than 8-9 times. He knows me well. I know him well. Even then, every time I talk to Rana, I'm nervous because I don't know what content I'm going to get. And someone who I absolutely really love, there are so many people. I really like talking to Lakshmi Manchu because it's like a slumber party. It's like 2 girls are sitting and having like a pajama party with her. And the person who makes me blush, I'll take this name, Jubin Nautiyal. I remember when I went live with him once on Insta, there were people sitting and saying, oh my God, what's happening here? Because I'm sitting and blushing. He's so charming and he sings. There is a guy who's being charming and he can sing well, a girl will blush. What can a poor girl do?
And वो भी आजकल के ज़माने में इतने romantic गाने हैं.
I'm doing this live, ma'am. It's raining. I'm sitting at home with candles around me. It's raining, and he's singing "Tujhe kitna chane lage hain hum" with his guitar on. How can a girl not blush? Tell me. So you ought to blush.
You also did Vicky Kaushal's, and he's a heartthrob of the India.
Oh, how can I forget Vicky Kaushal? I have the hugest crush on him. Vicky Kaushal, I remember, I usually don't get starstruck. I don't. I love their work. Very rarely I get starstruck. And the first time I interviewed Vicky was over a phone call. My hands, I'm dialing the number, it's going like this. It's shaking, shaking, shaking. And I'm like blabbering like a fool. Yeah, with Vicky, I was like that. But then I got used to him and then it got better. But the first time I was like a fool. Yeah. Absolute fool.
Any other person where you felt, ये क्यों करना है भाई? Because you are told to do it.
Many times. There are times when you know these people cannot give you the content you want.
Content and the respect.
Respect is also secondary. At least there is no work which is worth becoming content. But you have to, because there are so many people, I'm sure they've reached a point for whatever reason, but not because of what they have done. And when you interview them, they only talk about so many things, but not about the work, because there's no work. And you have to sit and suffer through it. And this has happened many a times. And on top of it, you get attitude. Yeah, you'll be like, okay, why am I doing this? Who needs to know about this? Nobody needs to know about this. And yet you need to have a conversation. So yeah, it has happened. No names. No names.
So you see yourself still in, being an RJ or where a girl? And now I know you teach, you make people RJs. Teaching is your, again, the passion, the new passion where you would like to tell people this is the right way to do. And I always tell people, you are lucky if you can start from LMNOP rather than ABCD. Yes. So you guys are helping them, next generation who want to come, so that, they are prepared in doing what it is. So where do you see yourself after, because more and more people are going to come, it's the thing, the change is the essence of life. So what do you want to do next?
I'm like you. As long as I'm getting work, I have work, keep doing it. Don't stop it. I know you keep telling me, Mansa, don't quit work. There is no question of quitting any work. As long as radio will have me, I'll have radio in my life. I have no aspirations I have never made plans. Like, I really didn't have a plan of becoming an RJ. I don't have a plan of, entering TV or movies. I have no such plans. I wanted to teach. I started teaching. I started dubbing. Yeah, and I've signed up with a YouTube channel. So there's so much happening around me. So I just want to be busy working.
So you want to take as it comes.
Take as it comes, and I would love for radio to be a part of my life for as long as I can pull it practically, because I love radio.
And I think when you talk and when you do, it actually is giving happiness to so many people, and you should not rob them of it.
Hopefully.
Not rob them of it.
I'll tell you a story. What can RJs do? This was in Bangalore, and the listener was from Hyderabad. My first job was with FM Rainbow All India Radio, so the show used to come to Hyderabad as well. And it was Shammi Kapoor's birthday. I'm Shammi Kapoor's #1 fan.
I know, we're all
of us. And I got his old interviews from YouTube. I'm playing interviews wherein he's talking about how he eloped with his wife.
Geeta Bali. From the sets of the movie.
Yeah, and she took lipstick and gave it to him and maang bharne ke liye. I'm talking about such stories, and I had somebody call me up from Hyderabad crying. They said, I have no one to talk to about all of these things, and you're sitting and it feels like you're having a conversation with me. And that is what RJs do. We do one-on-one. We don't say, like they show in movies, hi Bangalore, hi Hyderabad, hi. No, we are talking to one person. We are not talking to the entire city. We are trying to have a relationship with every one of you individually.
In the household, that's it.
Yeah, whosoever is.
You're reaching that house.
Yeah, whosoever is listening. It's one-on-one. Aap mujhe bataiye. Not you all guys. No, you tell me. Are you listening to me? It's always that person called me crying, saying, I'm so glad I have you at least who's talking to me about all of these things. I wish you were my daughter and I could do this more often with you. And I had tears in my eyes. This is the power of radio. And if we can make somebody smile, somebody keep them company, if we can give them a piece of information. I don't know if I ever told you this. I did a show on Good Touch, Bad Touch once. and I had to do it very carefully because it's a controversial subject, sensitive subject. And that day I had a meeting at some other office I went. Somebody said, hey, you know what, a lady heard your show for the first time today, she has something to say. She said, ma'am, I was so confused, I didn't know how to teach my daughter, about good touch, bad touch. I heard your show today, now I know. That's the difference, we want to make, and I want to keep doing that for as long as I can.
Actually, till a part when women, in each household, many women were relating to TV and the series and all. The radio had made a huge difference to the, घर का जो लोग घर में बैठते उन लोगों के ज़िंदगी में भी बहुत फ़र्क पड़ा. So when it happens and people start relating to everything and listening, it definitely gives you a sense of huge accomplishment. That is the word I want to say.
Tell me something. Have you ever had a pen pal?
Yes, in the childhood time, we used to think, pen pal was a huge thing in our childhood, not afterwards.
Yeah, no, you had a pen pal. Did you have a telephone pal or a internet pal?
No, I didn't have, because that actually came little later in my life. We came to the next generation where internet pal and then being abused with that relationships and all, all that we have seen.
Beauty of having that pen pal is you have your own perception built. Yes. Radio is that. I think radio is the only medium where mystery is the charm. People will listen to me every day.
And they have their own opinion about.
I feel blessed because unlike television or movies, I'm not playing a character. I am Manasa. I come every morning, they know 7 to 11, they tune into my station, she's there. Right. She'll talk about her problems, your problems, what's happening in the country, city, movies, funny, serious, cry, laugh. There's everything. There's discussion, there's information.
It's not a character, like you said.
I am just me, and I feel blessed because, they have a picture of me painted in their head. I am only 60%. 40% is what they have built in their head. And the power of imagination is the most powerful thing, is what I think. TV can't give it, print can't give it, no other medium can give it but radio. And that's exactly why, because of that mystery, I've fallen in love with it. People know how many times I say Hanji in an hour, they've counted.
Hanji, वो भी कितने बार हंसती है, वो कैसी हंसती है. We love and laugh. This is something which we keep listening. And previously, we used to have this, RJs where so many RJs were there, but they never became celebrities the way, now actually when we think. So they relate so much to what they say. It makes a huge difference.
Every word counts. Every word counts because, you see, it's only audio medium. Nobody is looking at what I'm wearing or my hair or my face. It's only my voice. So every word will have weight when it comes out. So it's a very responsible job. You can't just go ramble, rant and come. It should be well thought out. And especially in a car, it sounds so personal. When one person is driving and there's just another voice in you, it's a very personal relationship if you think.
And especially these Bakra shows which happen everywhere in almost every radio. That's what. That is something people really get very wild sometimes. Some people really take it in a sportive way and all that. So one bad experience, one good experience.
It's only been good. My Bakra, because I'm a girl, a lot of people,
I think they don't start cursing you and all.
But there was this one time that girl lost it and she hung up because she got so scared. She got so scared this is happening. I called like her boyfriend's sister. She's like, how dare you date my brother and all that. And she started panicking, switched her phone off, and we were like, did she do something? What is happening? Then we had to call somebody up. So that was one experience. But nobody really has given me gali. Once or twice people have gotten angry. Don't you have common sense? Shut up, hang up. What is this? Shut up, hang up. All that has happened, but no galis. Yeah, many a times it's like...
like you said, baby, it's because it's a girl. Gali dene se pehle do baar sochte hain.
And they be like, common sense leda. Enti poddida, and then they'll hang up. Yeah.
That's nice. It was really nice talking to you. But then, none of my shows, actually, Manasulo Mata Matadali and Itlaga, there is a rapid fire round which we usually use, where we are going to ask what's even little more intricate things what actually mean to you. So there are few things which I really want. These are regular standard questions which I keep asking people who come on my show. So first thing is, everybody does something, and a profession is good, passion is good, all that is very good, but we need to eat also. We need to actually earn money to eat. Money is important. So what exactly does money mean to you?
It's financial independence. It means a lot to me. You cannot ignore that aspect of your life. Is it a driving factor? No. I don't do things just for money. I mean, when I entered radio, I took a pay cut which was so heavy, people were surprised. It was almost like 3 times less than what I made before. And I'm speaking the truth. And passion does that to you. But you have to fend for yourself.
No, at that age, passion is more important. But later,
Later, no, you want to travel, you want a nice place, you want to have that, you know, you need a little bit of saving saved away that should pay your medical bills, your food bills. These are basic essentials of your life which requires money. And on top of it, we all want to travel, you know, you want to live in a nice place. So yes, money means a good life. Money means financial independence, that I don't need to go ask anyone else. You know, that to me is self-worth. You know, I really don't want to ask money from anyone anytime in my life, and that's a very strict rule that I follow. So yeah, money means that, but money has never been a driving factor. I've done a lot of things for free. I have done a lot of things for no money. But that doesn't mean I discount it. So you know, it's balanced.
okay. So what does love mean to you, and did you ever fall in love?
Of course I have fallen in love, and I've fallen in love a couple of times and fallen out of love also. Just as you know well. Yeah. What does love mean to me? I think love is everything, you know. It starts with self-love, of course, and I love you and you know how much I love you. It doesn't always have to be me falling in love with a guy, but filling your life with love. Love for work, love for art, love for, I don't know, plants, pets, people you love. That's what makes your life beautiful. The foundation is, you know, having a great career, family support and earning money. That's just the foundation. But what makes your life beautiful and what makes you live your life, not just exist, is love. Without love, you're just existing like any other thing. I mean, you're human, you have the capacity to love and feel love. You better do it well and do a lot of it.
I also know that you do a lot of homework before going for anything, like you say. So what exactly does knowledge mean to you?
Everything. According to me, if personally love is a very powerful tool, knowledge is just as powerful. For me, knowledge is the most powerful weapon, because I was preparing for UPSC, like I told you. For me, you know, that sense of wonder, when you learn something new, your eyes just light up. You say, oh, this happened, oh, like this, oh, like that. And I hope that sense of wonder always remains in me, because the more you know, the more you learn, and the more, you know, calmer you are, because you know it. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, knowledge, knowing things is the most beautiful thing. If you don't know about anything, then what are you doing?
There's no conversation which happens with anybody.
There's nothing in your mind, you know, I mean.
The reason I asked you this question is, you know, people have this thing about dumb blondes. People want the woman, especially this is a patriarchal world, and people want them to be dumb. They just want to be beautiful girls. So what is your take on that?
Can I give myself a compliment?
Yes, please.
Yeah. I think that is why I'm single. No, abhi bhi shaadi nahi.
You're an intelligent girl where people are scared.
It's very intimidating for people. You know, you talk about politics or books or something. She's like, oh my gosh, she's such a know-it-all. I'm not a know-it-all. I just know it and I'm talking about it, you know, and I'm not showing off. When you know it, it comes out naturally.
In a conversation, definitely it happens.
And people don't like it. Both genders alike.
I totally agree. They just get intimidated and they are like, really, what you said is absolutely true. They don't like it.
They don't like it. And so there are times.
But do you want to live for whether others like it?
I told you I'm single. Because of this, because I've always lived by my own rules. I say, no matter how good looking the guy is, you sit with him, you can't talk to him for 5 minutes. What do I do with the good looks? I don't know what to do with it. Connection, yeah.
It is the conversations which build the relationships, actually.
Connection.
So who's been your inspiration right from your childhood throughout this thing and today where you are?
I have no one name, really. It's how I've met people throughout my journey. Like when I remember a lady, my dad was a bureaucrat, my neighbor used to be always an IPS officer. So his wife, one Pratima auntie, I loved her. You know, my grandmom to a certain extent. I always keep saying, if I'm 1% a woman as my grandmom, if I can love as much as my grandmom did selflessly, I'm successful. This lady I spoke about, Pratima auntie, she was a PhD. She had 3-4 cows in her house, and she was the best mother. She was the best wife. She was so intelligent. She understood people.
Coming from what you are telling right now, do everybody have to be best that, best this, best this? What is the stress they have to undergo for that?
They don't. But as role models, when you see, you get inspired. You know, I know what kind of a mother you are. See, best mother doesn't mean you have to feed them every day, you have to change their clothes every day. But understanding the way things are meant to be understood, giving things the due respect and credit, that you need to learn from some people who have it. Like, I know what all I've learned from you. I've told you openly, you know, you have been such an inspiration ever since. I was recently telling somebody after you got your new place, it's like, she's so in charge of her life. Nothing phases her. And the conversations I have with her, I remember the two of us talking about, no matter how big a disaster you are facing in life, don't give up on your routine. Get up, take shower, put your makeup on, go about your day.
Nothing should stop you.
Nothing should stop you. So I meet people, I get inspired from different people. You know, a housewife, my grandma was not even that educated. I got inspired by her, the strength that she had. I meet people like you. So too many names, not just one.
So what do you think is your USP? Why do people love you? We all love you. So why do people love you?
I love you right back. I think I'm approachable. I think I'm very warm. Because when people meet me, they don't really, you know, even though they think sometimes I'm a know-it-all, but a lot of people think that, okay, I don't have to be on my guard with her, you know. So the warmth gets generated, is what I have been told, and I'm an original piece, huh? A little bit of everything.
Single piece, single piece.
Single piece, yeah, single.
No remake, no replica.
I'm going to sell tickets shortly for such chat sessions, you know. So yeah, I guess that, yeah.
So what is the weirdest thing you have done in your life?
Oh, so many things. I'm the biggest weirdo you'll ever come across. I have played dares all my life. In college once, they made me kiss a coconut tree for a good 3 minutes. They were counting, roadside coconut, busy street, people are standing and saying, what is happening? So that is one weird thing I have done. I have swallowed a coin on a dare.
Oh shit. Ah.
Yeah, and
Luckily you did not need a surgery. If it was obstructing something, what would you have done?
no, I went and puked. Yeah, that, so many things like that, you know. I have played so many practical pranks, so many. I mean, I'm crazy. I told you, know, single piece I am. I'm very conservative to a certain extent, composed. I can be wild, I can be wicked, I can be everything.
A little bit of everything. Everything. What is one regret in your life which you would want to correct or do again?
There are quite a few regrets, and they have names sometimes.
Names. Yeah, names. Like you already said, you fell in love and out of love twice. So
Yeah. So there are names of my to my regrets. But I wish I had become a radio jockey a lot earlier. I wish I had started working a lot earlier. My family wouldn't allow me to work. So I found the strength and the courage to go against my family, find myself, and become independent much later in life. I wish I had started that in my early 20s. So, you know, I would have started living my life earlier. So I feel sometimes there was the learning process never stopped. I kept learning a lot, but I feel like I should have become independent much earlier than I did. That's the biggest regret in my life.
in order, you want to be rich, famous, or powerful?
I've never chased fame. I'm attention shy. I'll be very happy if I'm a wallflower somewhere. I don't want people to know me at all. Delete my Facebook, my Instagram account right away. I'll be happy. You know, it's no fame at all. Let's just dump that. I really don't need power also. What will I do with power? I mean, when I don't want to be noticed only, power ka kya karna? Money is needed in life. Definitely needed.
So first, if you have money, you can automatically be powerful.
Nobody will give me a free world tour. There are bills to pay. So money is needed, just the money part, yes.
What do you want? What do you actually dream about doing? I mean, what is one thing after your responsibilities are over you would like to do?
That dream is very elaborate, and I keep dreaming that dream all the time, and I hope that it happens very soon. I want to travel. I so want to travel, see the world. That is one thing.
Make money first.
Yeah, exactly. I hope that happens soon. I also, want to be in a position to, financially be in a position to help people, myself, seriously, on different levels. There are times when I'm in no position to help and I feel very, very helpless. So yeah, that is one thing I want to do. I want to travel and do this, and I want to have at least 10 pets at my place. Cats, dogs, cows, goats, everything.
But I always wonder, coming to an end of the conversation, but the thing is, when today's people are running around, jumping around, they're so restless, not able to take care of themselves. How good they will be to take a responsibility of the pet, because you're a pet person.
That's one thing I absolutely despise. My own friends do that. Oh, it's so cute, let me take it. 15 days, when they learn that you have to clean the potty and pee and everything, it's like, okay, they'll go give it back. It's not some showpiece you bring in, you keep it because it's cute, you take the pictures and put it on Facebook. The dog will fall sick, and quite often when it's a puppy, it's going to...
It's a responsibility of a life.
It's like having a baby. And when I see this happen, I find them very shallow, and I have seen my own friends do it, and it really angers me a lot. You see, I love pets and I don't have a pet and I live alone. Trust me, the urge is so strong to get a pet, but I haven't because I know I can't give the time. It's not fair to the pet.
Right.
It's not at all fair to the pet. It angers me, and I hope people don't do that, abandon their pets or bring in a pet just because it's a status symbol, it's cute, it's stylish to do so, and I need some pictures with the pet on Facebook and Instagram. I hope people don't...
Because others are having it.
Yeah, so understand the responsibility of it. You're responsible for another life. Right. It's not just about feeding them also. You need to keep that pet happy. You need to give that pet the attention that it deserves. People don't understand that. It's very sad.
On that note, Mansa, I think we are ready to close this interview, but I think you've been so genuinely... Manasulo Mata is something I think is quite apt. So when we are actually thinking of doing this, this generation is very clear about what it wants to do. I think the profession, passion, joy and the responsibilities which come with it, I think they're ready to learn. So ఇవన్నీ ఉంటే గనక మీరు రేడియో కావచ్చు, పేపర్ కావచ్చు, మీడియా కావచ్చు, ఎలాంటి డిఫరెంట్ ఫీల్డ్ అయినా, రెగ్యులర్గా ఉండే టీచింగ్, ఇంజనీరింగ్, మెడిసినే కాకపోయినా మీరు చూస్ చేసుకున్న సబ్జెక్ట్లో మీరు ఏవి చేయాలన్నా అది చెయ్యొచ్చు. అంటే మీరు ఒక బార్బర్ అవ్వాలన్నా కూడా బెస్ట్ బార్బర్ అవుతే మిమ్మల్ని మించిన వాళ్ళు ఎవరు ఉండరు, అందరూ మీ దగ్గరికి వస్తారు. సో ఎవ్రీబడి షుడ్ లవ్ యూ అండ్ ద వార్మ్త్ విత్ ఇన్ యూ. అంటే మీరు మన అనుకుని చేస్తే అన్నీ కూడా చాలా బాగా జరుగుతాయి. సో టిల్ నెక్స్ట్ టైం, మనసులో మాట విత్ డాక్టర్ మంజులా అన్నగాని.